Well, hey there, guys. What's going on? So, I bring you the last installment of this engine here. So, we've got all the parts that we needed for this engine. Um, as you guys can see, I did find a set of replacement turbos for it. I want to say thank you to that guy that actually reached out to me and came through. Really appreciate that. That means a lot. These turbos are obviously in really nice shape. Very little shaft play at all on them. Overall, these turbos came off of a truck that actually had a hole inside the block, so we obviously know the turbos were working fine when the engine decided to grenade itself. So moving on to the engine itself, so we got the new turbos put on it. Obviously you can see everything is together. Obviously got new up pipes. These are the up pipes right here. Like I was showing you guys in the previous video, these tend to leak from the bellows right here. But these are a set of aftermarket pipes. I think these were like 80 bucks off of Amazon. And anytime that you're in servicing one of these trucks, I always suggest replacing these up pipes. And the thing too is you can see the original up pipe came, the EGR crossover came up and over. So the original up pipes make it very difficult for you to get in here and service the engine. Well, with these now, if I had to come in here and remove the turbo with the cab on, we could actually do that. Obviously, removing these turbos sometimes can be a bear, because yesterday when I went out to the gentleman's house there to remove the turbo off that junk engine, obviously you've got two 15mm bolts. These, and you can see right in here, these hold downs are massive. Let's say the hold downs about 4 inches long, and it's about an inch wide. And so, I mean, we had to get about a 6-foot cheater bar on the back of this turbo, and we actually stuck it in the turbo itself and started prying up and down on it. And finally, the turbo broke free. And the reason why they're very difficult to break free is because obviously over the years, there's a little dowel pin on the bottom of the turbo, and there's on the engine block, there's where the dowel pin sits in. Over time, that creates a bond of rust, and so it's very difficult to break these free when they've obviously been on the engine for a period of time. Like the turbos that were on the other engine originally, they came right off, no problems, because these were off according to the guy last year, which I do believe him. So, but as you can see, got the new up pipes, got the EBP sensor, the sensor right here, EGT right here, the exhaust gas temperature sensor. We had some problems with that. Obviously we took it out and it stripped itself. Pretty common. Obviously they weld themselves in there over time, and it's just like taking out an O2 sensor. The thread stripped, so I had to retap this. I just went ahead and retapped this, and I actually had to grind down the bottom of that and retap the upper portion, but it's in there very nice now, so no problems there. So as you guys can see, this engine is ready to go in. Maybe I'll do a video of me dropping the engine in the truck. These are not friendly to put in. There's a lot of work that goes into putting one of these engines in a truck, okay? The biggest problem on this truck right here, as you can see, the torque converter, it's got studs instead of bolts that actually bolt into the torque converter, unlike a conventional engine. Like Dodge and Chevy, that wouldn't be a problem. You just go ahead and line the dowel pins up with the housing on the transmission, and spin the converter and find the bolt hole and line it up with the flywheel and put a bolt in it. These you actually have to line the studs up with the back of the flywheel there. There's the flywheel right there. That's the only thing I have to put on this engine right now, and kind of a pain in the ass if you ask me, but we'll get it though, so not a big deal. So anyways, like I said, this is ready to go in. Everything is done. The engine is completely dressed up. Got everything back together. And one guy mentioned to me, he asked me, well, what would this engine cost right now? This engine right now would roughly be around $10,000. In the form that it's in, from a salvage yard, you're paying roughly $6,500 to $8,500 for one of these. depending on the mileage. You know, obviously with this, with a rebuilt short block, you know, this would probably go for at a salvage yard probably right around 9,500. So, you know, these are not cheap engines, guys. These are not cheap. And that's the reason why. It's supply and demand. If you have a good quality engine that doesn't have any problems, that doesn't break down, then, you know, the price is going to be reasonable. But if you have an engine that's a real crappy design that has a high failure rate like these do, then obviously, you know, the law of supply and demand applies. So, and obviously that forces the price of this engine up. So, but that's where we're going to be at on this one. You know, we can see right there, we got that old piece of shit right here. And for somebody looking, you know, you can see those nice, you can see these pistons are not new, they're old. So, but yeah, that's where we're going to leave it. So, you guys can join me on the next one here with me installing the engine, and hopefully we can get this truck here running in the next day, day and a half or so. If you guys like these type of videos, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.